Hello there, this is Only One Kenobi, Only One, with a video just summarising what I got at the Echo Base Live event, which you saw in the thumbnail. I did not come home empty-handed, so I got a haul of figures, and I met a load of people there, had a great time. I met Bosk's Bounty, I met Chocolate Chip Wookie, from all these people from Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Fantastic. I've had a channel for almost 2 years, so it was great to finally go to my first ever Star Wars event ever, so it was really good. I also saw my mate Michael there. Not seen Michael for 10 years. Used to work with him in London. Never knew he even liked Star Wars back when I worked with him in London, but since we've obviously become chatty on Facebook and yada yada, and it was great to see him there as well. So I shall talk maybe about that later. I shall now show you what I got, because that's probably why you clicked on this. So first and foremost, everything I got was carded, which was nice, and that reminds me that, speaking of Michael, he said to me at the event, he said, I'm strictly carded person. Basically, he likes to buy things carded to open, and this is the reason why. This figure I got, because the first thing I got there was this, and as I say, the only thing I got loose was this. But the problem with it is, it stinks, man. It's really smoky, so I'm in the process of de-smoking him, but I had to get it because he was only a $5. I thought, why not? And he came complete with the droid reader there. I like the character a lot. He's the bartender in the Tatooine cantina, the Mos Eisley cantina, I beg your pardon. So that's the only thing I got loose. They had other loose things there as well at the event, but mainly everything I got was carded because it was such good value. I'm going to show you the first thing I got, which was this. I could not walk out of there without getting Max Rebo. So this is brilliant. So I've got plans of having him either in the barge if he'll fit in. He might not do. Plus my barge is full of other people hanging out on it in a minute. So, but I'm getting a Jabba's playset coming up soon, so he might actually fit in the barge on his own. Max Rebo might not. But anyway, so with all the other Jabba stuff coming out, I thought, I've got to get this. Fantastic. So it's really cool. All this stuff came in fantastic condition, but you know, I'd love to keep it carded. The thing is about my collection at home, boom, I have that, you see. So I've got it home, fully expecting to open it, but I can see me hanging it on these pegs here for a couple of weeks at least. You know what I mean? Just because I love seeing stuff hanging on that, especially when it's cool. Can't say vintage because it's not vintage this, but it's getting on a bit. It's getting on to 20 years old, or past that actually now. 1998, it's over 20 years old. But look at the quality of that bubble anyway. I'm going to get that open, there's no denying. Anyway, moving on. What else? Speaking of the power of the Force, from the same guy on the same stand, I got this. I will upload a video of the event itself as well. My main focus was to go there and interact with people, talk to people, and I was so in awe of the event. I was more interested in, as opposed to filming everything and sticking a camera in people's face, I wanted to just experience the event. So I did, but I did do some footage there, of which I will save that for a separate video, so you can see what it was like. But for this one, I just want to show you what I got. Now, going back to this guy, I got a bit mixed up here. I thought he was one of Jabba's entourage. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was a guy of his species in Jabba's entourage. Let me know in the comments, but it turns out he's a Rebel Alliance member, but I didn't know that. Didn't even notice the back of this card when I was there. But he's pretty cool. You can see me opening him. Well, I will be opening him. Also, I got EV99. Never got one of her. I think she is a she, actually, from something I read years ago. Never got this droid back in the 80s. She was in the original vintage line, I'm sure. But that's pretty cool. See, I've got Jabba in mind. We all have Jabba fever going on, what with the barge and the play sets that are coming out, so I had to get her. And I also got this full-on. I was really on the hunt for getting a full-on from the vintage collection loose, but I saw this and I thought, well, you know, why not? It was a great deal that the guy whipped up for me for these Power of the Force figures, and I was quite sold on how this one looked. So this will look really nice with my Zuckuss that I have. Really nice. I loved the paint application of that full-on. Awesome. This is another one I was really pleased to get. Ephant Mon, ladies and gentlemen. This was only £15, so I thought, man, I've got to get it. I wanted it anyway, but I always wanted to know as well how heavy it was, man, and it is a heavy piece of plastic. If this was the same price as other figures hanging on the shelves back in the 2002 era, then what an opportunity to get a bulk piece of plastic. But anyway, so Ephant Mon, the Elephant Man. Awesome. Jabba Jabba Denizen entourage member. Brilliant. So I have an Ephantmon now. Awesome. Great line of figures. My friend on YouTube, fellow figure collectors James, I'm sure he says how underrated this line of figures is. This is also the 2003 saga, following on from the Ephantmon era. The cards changed and were like that, but I got these three here, all for £8 each. And let's start with this one. There's a guy on eBay, right, who sells loads of figures loose, and it's the seller, you might know who I'm talking about, Marcho or something like that. Anyway, they're in Southampton. Every now and again on eBay in the UK, loads of loose figures pop up, and I never see this guy go for anything less than, I don't know, £20 or so. I've seen it go for crazy prices. I got this for £8 carded, which I'm going to open it because I've always wanted Captain Antilles in my collection, and now I have it, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant. I think I might have actually gagged in on that one. I think my mate Mike, well, I saw it first, I picked it at Mike, and apparently you wanted it, but anyway, there you go. Also, I saw Jan Dodona, always wanted a Jan Dodona in my, Dodona, I don't know how you pronounce it, in my collection. The only other general leader I want, Rebel Alliance leader I want is General Riken. I only have General Macquarie in terms of a rebel leader, so that's awesome. I'm so glad I got that. That's brilliant. And speaking of other cool figures in that line, I got this one. Do you want a cup of Jawa juice? Oh yes, thank you. From the George Lucas 50s Primetime Cafe and Attack of the Clones. But again, my friend James from Fellow Figure Collectors, he has all this line of figures carded in his collection. Check out his channel. I'll put a link down there. Awesome. And he says in one of his videos, I'm pretty sure he says about this line of figures, how underrated they are, man. They're really good. And look at the quality of this. I mean, the articulation of these earlier figures is not necessarily the best, but the sculpting and the scale of them all are just fantastic. Really good figures, and I'm glad to have them because I needed them. I walked past another fella who was there, and he was doing a deal, 2 for £10 on 2005 Revenge of the Sith figures, and I needed both of these. This one, I quite like political figures. Literally, it is a political figure because it's a figurine, but this is one I needed, and it is Ask Ak. Ask Ak anything and he will answer. I'm joking. This is the guy who says, unfortunately the debate is over and we need that clone army or whatever. But I've got a few other political figures. That kind of blue thing that's from one of the figures, I don't know if it's Attack of the Clones or what, but that will go nicely with Padme and all of that. Like, awesome, you know, these are just brilliant figures. That there's so many great figures you can collect. I've never had that one, so I've got it now. And then I got this one, a Wookiee warrior. I'm pretty damn sure now, actually looking at the helmet, that this is Meru Meru before he was called Meru Meru, or all of them have helmets like that. But I basically wanted to army build and get some more Wookiees that are from the the Kashyyyk scene in Revenge of the Sith, and I've got this one. So let me know what you know about this. Is this actually Meru Meru, but he just wasn't called Meru Meru then? Or is it a different Wookiee warrior? A bit like the Gungan warrior, you know, a generic character, no one specific. And what else? Yes, I went past I met ID Toys, In Demand Toys, and I also met for the first time David from Dark Side Toys. It was nice to meet him after all the conversations we've had online, but from him I bought something I really wanted, which was Tobias Beckett. I love Tobias Beckett, a really good character, and I'm going to open and review this soon, but I want to put this guy on my barge. Currently on my barge I have a young Han Solo, and Chewbacca, and I've got Aurra Sing on there. But the thing about Aurra Sing being on there is it's a little bit timeline inaccurate, that, because by all accounts from Solo, Lando says, "You killed Aurra Sing," and he says, "Pushed her. Pretty sure the fall killed her." So he would have killed Aurra Sing. So Aurra Sing wouldn't be around for Han and Chewie if they were ever to meet. Because there's no doubt that on Solo, Han and Chewie were on their way to Tatooine. And there's no doubt they would have been on the barge. Who knows? Let's let our imaginations run wild here, ladies and gentlemen. But to have Aurra Sing in the background with Han and Chewie is not right. Because technically by then, Aurra Sing would be dead. But it might be possible for him to be on Jabba's barge with Aurra Sing. Anyway, there you go, that's that. And the final thing I got there was, and I'm not a massive 6-inch collector, but I could not get this. I had to get it because, you know, the figures I do have in the 6-inch collection, in my 6-inch collection are my favourite characters, and, you know, Fett is no exception. So this is from the archive line. This is the first figure I've ever got from the archive line. They had IG-88 and Bosk there and all the others, but, you know, Boba Fett is Boba Fett, and, you know, that's going to be awesome. The only 6-inch figures I have in the world are Yoink over here on this wall here. I have individual pedestals for my favourite characters, like you've got Revan there, you've got Jango Fett, you know, Maul, Kylo Ren, and all these cool figures. So, you know, I've got to have a Fett on there. That would be awesome. And yeah, any of the figures I've got, these ones that I've bought, I can fully expect to, I can, yeah, I can't even speak now, I'm losing it, folks. I can totally see me hanging them on there for a while before I open them, or before I review them, because I shall review them for you. And I feel a little bit exhausted there, ladies and gentlemen. I do nothing but blabber on these videos. I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed that review. And if you would like to check out some more videos, I'm going to upload a video of the event in the fullness of time. Leave your comments below, and like and subscribe, of course. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only One, out.